can stop your camera.
Little pics.
Thanks, babe. Jump in here. We're about to start live. It's Mini Love, the podcast. You don't want to miss it. Get in here right now. All right, we're going to get started with our broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, Occur. I have my husband. I got my boyfriend. What y'all gonna do with me tonight?
No.
Ain't no stopping me now, right?
Yeah, we on it now,
I'm gonna
baby.
come in here and try to figure out what's going on. Oh, I see. I got sound coming from multiple places. Sorry. Greetings, everybody who is joining our podcast. This is called Many Loves, and we're so happy every week to bring it to you. I am excited this time because I got two of my many loves here. This is a podcast about many loves, about how we get along, how we do things, what we do. I know I'm playing with your hair. I gotta stop playing with your hair. I've done that on national TV. Just start playing with your hair.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's a bad habit. I don't know.
You're allowed to do it.
Well, it's like you're my comfort item. You know, like a blankie?
A blankie. You told people you got a travel blankie?
I do have a travel blankie. Don't you laugh? You think that's funny?
I think it's great.
Well, do you think like this a bad habit for an adult woman over 50 to have a travel blankie?
No, you've always had comfort stuff. When I first met you, you had a comfort teddy bear.
You were my comfort. I mean,
you had a teddy bear.
Occur, when we first got together, our parents and everybody was like, these two are never going to stop. We were always all over each other. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Why do you think it was like that?
I can see that. No, King, she touchy feely, you know what I mean? She love to touch. I think that's a cancer love language.
Yeah, it's a cancer thing. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, we can't help ourselves. It's what it is. I'm actually live on TikTok for the first time. So hey, if y'all want to check us out, come to YouTube at the Progressive Love channel. The Many Love series, podcast series. We the third. We got our big bro in here. Our other husband, and well, not my husband, but my brother.
Your brother husband.
Kay's husband. Yeah, I don't got no husband. Let's get that clear.
But see, brother husband, that's a good concept. I told Carl about that. Like, to me, all men should feel like they're brother husbands. Like they're brothers and they're husbands to all these damn women. We need brother husbands for every one of these motherfucking women.
I agree. I totally agree.
Absolutely.
Well, tonight we're not talking about the men. Tonight the topic is women, patriarchy, and the spell of self-betrayal. The self-betrayal that the women are experiencing. That's why I needed two men here, because my vent's gonna be heavy.
I got a vent today. I got a vent today.
Well, let's start off with your vent. What, you got a vent?
I want you to finish. I want you to finish what you were saying because I like the way it was headed. But I just want to let you know I got a vent today. So I'm learning up-level communication, and I'm embracing it. And it's been a lot of stuff going on. So I'm like, man, let's talk about it. Let's have some conversation about it. You know what I mean?
I want you all to tell them the story of when y'all first met, because you all share more than just me. You have another partner that you share named Hasina. We should have brought her on here.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she'll love to come on here and tell her story.
Yeah, you gotta reach out to her.
I will, but I want you all to tell, how did you all meet?
Well, really, Occur told that story already. I was there at the retreat. You see what I'm saying? I mean, the difference was he wasn't focused on me. He was focused on the ladies. You see what I'm saying? He was busy with that piece.
Yes, I definitely was.
Yeah, we definitely met at the retreat, man. That was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, so my interpretation when I met Carl, I was very intrigued because he was just so laid back in the cut, and he was, he wasn't overpowering. But when it came time for the ceremonial stuff we was doing, it was very serious. I seen another side of him that I don't think a lot of people really see, and a lot of people really know how tuned in he is, like on the spiritual side. So I think for me seeing that, and the fact of how he was as far as just in general, just his whole demeanor, it was just like, damn, like this brother pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I didn't feel threatened. I felt like it was weird at first, you know what I'm saying? Because I was just new to that. You know what I mean? I'm like, got this wife here, this man, he dealing with other people, and it was new. But as I got to know him, he welcomed me in from the gate, and that was something that we never really clashed. And recently we have a conversation because we realized, we all fishing from the same pond. And, we have to make sure as brothers that we are communicating and making sure that we taking care of ourselves and also the women that we're dealing with, because, you got things like STIs and somebody mentioned that on the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like this disease out there, that shit is real, you know what I'm saying? And we got to make sure we covering ourselves, make sure we taking care of our health so that we not, tainting the pond. You know what I'm saying? And so, that is something that as men, we need to have those conversations. You know what I'm saying? We need to understand that as a whole, as a collective, as a community, our women and our children is our responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up, I remember seeing a woman getting jumped on one time. I was in Jackson for the first time, Michigan. My aunt lived in the projects, and this young lady was getting beat up to the point where she was out her bra and everything, and it was like all these people outside and nobody helped. I'm like, damn, like as a kid, I wanted to jump in that fight and like protect that woman from that dude. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's something that we've lost. Maybe not all the way, but I mean, overall, that's something that as brothers we kind of like we don't have that trust anymore and that type of camaraderie. So
Well, that's precisely why I was sharing that I felt it urgent. And this is what we are going to be talking about at my debate. It is urgent that we have a new social structure. I'm tired of this whole thing that we don't have no, like you said, there's nothing really in place in our culture that would have us to automatically do something if we see some shit going down like that. You felt that, but everybody doesn't feel that. Some people just be like, oh, okay, that's just happening over there. I'm over here. That's where the brother husband concept comes in. And I want to invite everybody watching to the Poly Skeptics debate. You all have to understand that I'm going to roll out.
y'all can go see this live.
Yeah, y'all, I'm going to roll out this entire substructure of a culture that I'm thinking that we could step into. And I want to debate. I want the men to be there to see if y'all want to do this or not. you know?
Yeah.
So let's kick off. I'm glad you shared that. Thank you all so much for being brother husbands, for being protectors of women, for being men who are not trying to hold women captive to the patriarchy, because that's what we about to call out tonight. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you have questions, please put them in the chat. We will pay attention to the chat, and we will get to everybody's questions tonight. I noticed last time we didn't do that, but we're about to do it tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to open up. We always show you what we're working on here. So when we are talking about women, patriarchy, and the spell of self-betrayal, this episode is about how women we have to abandon ourselves in order to fit into the patriarchy. But when I was doing this write-up, I realized that men have to abandon yourself too to fit the patriarchy. I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. And so we're going to talk about that and get into that. What I want to start out with, though, is what is self-betrayal? And what does it mean, self-betrayal? And what is the self, for that matter? So when we define the self here, we all have the same creed. Defining yourself means you have a creed. Our creed is that we have an animal, you understand? An animal, an ego, and a higher self. That is what makes up our self. So self-betrayal means betraying your animal, betraying your ego, and betraying your higher self. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
What do you think, Akar?
Absolutely agree.
Yeah. So patriarchy causes both men and women to self-betray. How? So many ways. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to get into how women police our own freedom, how we're competitive with other females, how we are dealing with we have to negate our own desires. You understand? And we have to give our labor for free. I mean, there's so many ways that we betray ourselves, but y'all have to give y'all labor for free. Y'all are in competition with other men, you know, unnecessarily. And you all are policing yourself in the patriarchy. So I'm not saying like one is worse than the other, but tonight is the night to talk about the women. Does that make sense? Everybody clear on where we are?
Yes.
All right, wonderful.
I think we need like 2 or 3 shows just for this subject alone.
You think it's a huge topic?
I think so. I think I've witnessed some women in my life like do this shit within the last week.
Do what? Because the first topic there is policing our own freedom. I mean, from day one, we have to think of pleasure. I remember touching myself when I was 5 or 4 or whatever, how kids do, you touch your body. And somebody come in the room, my mother, telling me, what are you doing? Stop that. What are you, like, that's a policing of your own natal sense of self-love. Just, you know, we're not supposed to touch our own body. Like, where do they do this at?
And it's a lot. It's just so many of these things these programs really that I see that women stunt their growth in so many ways when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to relationships and things like that. Like you said, it's a lot of competitiveness. And it's like we all fishing from the same pond. The women that feel that it's a lot of very attractive women on the planet. I mean, it's countless women that are what we would call wifey material, at least on the outward appearance.
Right.
That don't make you beautiful just because you look good. But I think there's a lot of programming that women have been accustomed to make them feel like they don't got to share. They don't, everybody's.
Well, I mean, if you just understand the concept of not being able to touch your own body, then later at about age 5 or 6, you learn that your body is for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for you. Your pleasure is for him. It's not for you. So you learn that because guys start touching you. You know, you're told, no, don't touch yourself. But then when I was in the kindergarten, that's when the boys start touching you. They're running around, they're grabbing ass, you understand? So you're like, okay, I couldn't touch myself because it was pleasurable to touch myself. That's a no-no. But you continue doing it in secret though. Mm-hmm. But then you guys, boys start touching you. And
they didn't get in trouble for that?
No. My teachers didn't know what the boys were doing.
Yeah, I think everybody, what it taught was you couldn't do anything sexual or intimate with yourself in front of people. So we began to hide our sexual, desires and sexual exploits.
Right. Well, and that was men, but I don't think you all got to the step that your pleasure belongs to somebody else. And you're supposed to hold it and don't do anything that other person wouldn't want you to do, like have sex. You don't start to learn that you have to not have pleasure until this person comes to claim you, or comes to own you, or comes to put a ring on your finger. That's what we start to learn. That's the messaging, right? Yeah. So then we start to seek approval for all of our actions, all of our thoughts, all of our behaviors. And it's like blind submission to a system that we don't know what's really happening. So that's the first piece. That's the first piece of self-betrayal for me. And I know it's the same for men. But what you all may not know is a lot of women have said yes to y'all out of that thing. They don't even know that what they're saying yes to. I remember this billionaire I went to go visit. And you remember him? Mm-hmm. And this happened with a lot of men. But he was like this and this and that. And he just moved me sort of into a position and he wanted to have sex with me. I didn't want to have sex with him. But I wasn't going to stop him. The programming was too thick.
Right.
This doesn't belong to me. My body doesn't belong to me. If a man is doing this or doing that, you want to please him. You want to stay, you want to stay safe. You want to stay in his good graces. These are programs that we learn from age 5. Mm-hmm. So that's a problem.
Say something like him. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you brought me back to the point that you was trying to bring home. I went off a little bit into another direction where I was going with it, but that's one part of it. Then there's that part that you're talking about where they're denying themselves for various reasons.
Yes.
And one of those reasons that I've been coming across a lot lately is that it's females that are attracting men that are poly. They're openly poly. But they're claiming that they not. Claiming that
Right.
they not, and they do have needs. It's like the men that they really want. It's like I try to tell women, if you see something that you like, you have to claim it.
Right.
And it's like they are so accustomed to um the majority of men that's coming at them, they don't want those. The ones that they want, the ones that they can have, it seems like that's the ones they want the most.
Well, the thing about that, and I'll show you exactly why. I'm going to show you one of my posts that has literally maybe over 100 comments calling me a 304. I'm just going to open it right now and show you, because people don't understand, like, this is what women are fearing. I don't fear it. I think it's funny because I've been dealing with it for 20 years online. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to try to get to the post where, I mean, I think there's 4,000 comments here. And the funniest part about these comments is that it's not just that the men are calling me a 304. The men are also, okay, so let me show you. I'm going to share my screen because y'all won't believe this. This is what I look at every day. I mean, every day. And what can you say? What can you do? This is where people are. This is where humans are in our process of healing and clearing this problem up. So here is my post. This is on Facebook, okay? Not on Instagram. Nobody says 304 on Instagram because I have entrained my audience on Instagram to act right and understand who the queen is. On Facebook, I don't know. The algorithm just start pushing me on Facebook. I don't even be on Facebook. So I want to show you where this is. Here it is right here. This post right here. These comments are the worst comments I've ever seen. They're just like, oh, you want to be hoes or 304s or da-da-da, or just say you want to be, I mean, they're terrible. And that's okay. Somebody was like, oh, I'm so sorry that's happening. I'm like, girl, it's better now than it used to be. But then you get a post like this with 4,000 comments with men saying, yes, we want a woman who wants sex every day. Yes, we like it. We love it. Please tell my girlfriend.
Yeah, love horrors.
Right,
That's
but
that's the crazy part about it, man. Like that's the crazy part about it, man. Like, man, we gotta cut this bullshit out, man. Like, we gotta stop
which
this
is
fucking slut
it?
shaming and all that. Cause we are programmed as men to be whores, if that's what you want to call it. That's in our makeup. This
Okay.
is science, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because there's a lot of men out there who are insecure sexually, they want to try to dominate over women, and when women are in their sexual power, they feel very threatened by that.
Right.
Because they've been programmed to try to dominate the woman. And that's where the problem is. And that's where you got men on there that will slut shame a woman or whatever because she got multiple men or whatever the case. But in the meantime, they want multiple women.
Right.
And a lot of them is dealing with men and women. You know, it's like
That's a whole nother topic.
I just can't get them type of dudes, like I just can't get with them. I just can't get with that type of energy, man.
But
Because
to me,
like
that's the patriarchy keeping y'all down too, because you don't get the pleasure of a woman. I would never be with any man who's talking crazy like this. But if all the men were brother husband, y'all would be getting so much pussy and so much devotion and care and nurturing from all women.
that's a fact. I mean, I see it in our dynamic. I've seen it, like there's not been no lack of for anything, and that's never like, if anything is too much, it's not enough hands to go around.
Right.
Yeah.
We never have enough men to serve all the free women. We've had events every year. Like we'll have about 50 women We'll have about 50 women and about what, like 15 men.
Yeah, and women who are like they're open to sensual connection, and you know what I'm saying, like not just women like they're who are not open, the women who are open.
Oh yeah, they ready for it.
Yeah,
They
But the
want
man,
and
the
that.
man ain't present. You know, it's like they got we got so many fucking hangups around sex that it's like we got to be retaught what it really, where the shit comes from and why,
Exactly.
and then how can we, break out of these programs where it's like a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of
Well, you're
place a lot of
asking
perversions and a lot of stuff, man, like in relationships, man. So
you're asking where we can do this work, and here is where we're doing it. The Polyskeptics debate. I'm inviting men. Men, please come. We're not trying to. We've been doing this for 20 years and we have succeeded. We are continuing to educate men and women, remove the brainwashing so you can have your needs met, so you can get out of lack. That is a lack mentality, to call a woman who's open to being sexual. That's what you want, sexuality. She's open to it, but she's a 304. Get in here to the Polyskeptics debate and let's talk about it. Let's start to deprogram. That's my point. Does that make sense? Deprogramming.
absolutely.
Raquel, what you think about this topic and some of the stuff you've seen? Because I just see a lot of denial. I see a lot of like it's just people lying to themselves. In my opinion, a lot of fear.
Yeah, Kenya's more sensitive to people online than I am. You know what I mean? Like I know there's different groups of people. Like I know a lot of the men who are responding to are incels. You know, like I know a lot of those men really don't have any women. They really never had any women, and they're frustrated. You see what I'm saying? I know a lot of the men are angry. They've had divorces or they've been taken, by child support or unwanted pregnancies. Like I know there's a lot of frustration coming from like large groups of men out there. So I understand that's the same thing. And the same thing on the women's side. There's a lot of women who are frustrated. They haven't been able to manifest what they want in terms of marriage and relationships, or the man they wanted wouldn't be with them or whatever. Like, so I know that a lot of responses are coming from groups of people who are really frustrated and hurt by the dating landscape and what they've experienced. So I don't really take it too seriously. I understand where these people are coming from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the culture in America, which to me, I know you guys call it patriarchy. I really look at it as, Western European culture that includes, religion, capitalism, and monogamy. Like that's like really the issue. That Western cultural, what they prioritize in their tradition. Like I don't really even call it pure patriarchy, because
No,
pure patriarchy is not negative, and neither is pure matriarchy. When they're operated properly, they're in balance.
Yes.
yeah, I have to agree. All of those things go into what we have these dynamics because before you can even get in the bedroom, you gotta first like the person. You know what I mean? You gotta first, present yourself in a way to be attracted, or to even attract a mate to want to be with you. So you got to be productive in life. You got to make money, you know, and money is definitely one of the big things that has been an issue in relationships or the lack thereof.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I guess you can carry on to the next. I'll save my vent for the end.
Okay. Well, I have a vent real quick before we go on about something Rakim just said. Nobody's doing anything wrong. This is this is just my ego speaking, and I'm at like a level 2. I don't really care, but I don't know what he's talking about. Kenya's sensitive online. Kenya was the first black woman online saying, I got multiple men. Kenya stood by Carl and walked through hell to make it such that women today can just talk about poly out the side of their mouth like they didn't say nothing. When I said poly in 2005, and when we went poly, you had me, I was out blogging and shit before Facebook, before Instagram. I am not sensitive to what people say online. I just think it's funny. I think it's entertaining. So I just had to vent about that real quick.
Thanks for sharing. Would you like support with that?
Yes, I want some support. I want both you and you to acknowledge how brave and strong and powerful I have been. I'm not sensitive shit. Sensitive my ass.
No,
Yeah, absolutely.
you
Yeah,
definitely got the heart of a lion. I must say.
Yeah, no, Kenya was real strong in terms of, being able to deal with these comments in the millions. Really, since Dr. Phil, really, that's when it really started coming out. But,
Hmm.
in terms of like where the Christian and, like when it really became vicious. But yeah, she's always dealt with this stuff very, very strong.
Thank
Very,
you.
very strong.
Thank you. I'm down to a 0.
Okay, good.
Oh, no. Kerr didn't do his
Kerr did it.
simulation. He did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You did. All right, listen. We definitely I have to agree with that. That's what before we started this podcast, that's why I was calling it to tell you, like, great job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep up the good work. Like, we see it, we know, like we at the forefront of this shit, man. Like, we at the forefront of this shit.
Thank you.
20, 50, 100 years from now, who knows what we might be in in the history books as far as bringing this new paradigm, bringing actual tools that can help people live a better lifestyle and have a better relationship,
All
man.
right.
So,
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right. So moving on to the next part of this, okay? The concern with patriarchy is it wants blind submission. That's what a narcissist wants, blind submission. And the patriarchy wants blind submission from y'all too. They want blind submission from everybody. I think everybody's learning that in 2026 out this motherfucker. White people are finally learning that, they want blind submission from y'all too. And they always have. It's a narcissist in charge. Not one person, a spiritual energy.
yes.
And so that's what women have been dealing with. And reality testing is off. So that leads me to want to show you guys a little demonstration. You guys who are watching, you are so lucky. You're about to see a little demonstration of what I'm going to show you about this. So when I say reality testing is off, it leads me to a vent I had about a Kerr, which is no big deal. I'm not going to vent it right now. But he was trying to understand when I said last week I want a dom. What I'm trying to share, and I shared this last week a little bit, is that me and Carl came up with this idea of the first choice and understanding where you are placed in a given situation. Whether you have a penis or a vagina, a woman could be in the dominant position. A woman could be in the masculine position. A man could be in the submissive position. A man could be in the feminine submissive, in the masculine submissive. So we have all of these, and I'm going to really roll it out and talk about it more at the debate. But the reality testing is off. We don't reality test. For instance, I have investors for my app. I'm in a submissive position with them. They got something that I need. So I'm not going to walk in the room like I'm gangbusters with that. I understand the art of placement. And I wonder why some men don't understand sometimes when they are in the submissive position naturally. That's what a lot of women have been talking about. Females in leadership as well as females in nurturing positions. Females can be in any of those positions. So I've been talking a lot about that. What is y'all's thought on that?
I can't go.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of men are confused about that. I think men and women are confused about that. But I think when you look at actual relationships, then I think people actually fit in where they need to fit in. Like I look at your parents' relationship, but I think your father's in a submissive position. Like I look at your family lineage as being more matriarchal. I feel like the women have been dominant. Now that was different than your grandmother on your mom's side. To me, that was more of a patriarchal thing where she was more in a submissive position. Your grandfather was more dominant. But I think with your mom and dad, like your dad's more in the submissive, your mom's more in the dominant. She tends to dictate how things flow, all that kind of stuff. So I think it depends. You know what I'm saying? But I think once people get into their position, they fit into their position. All
right, but may I just say something about that? You mentioned my grandmother and my grandfather. Can I tell y'all that in 1950, 1953, this woman was managing 500 white folks in Detroit. And so my grandfather didn't feel good, and it was not natural because it was racism that kept him from having the ability to have a job like she got. But even so, he never wanted to get into that submissive position. He had to assert dominance. And also he was ill. You know, these people they're ill. They're coming from war from slavery is war. The South is war. So there's been a lot of things like that. And if we could just get a handle on why men in our culture seem to be fighting for a dominance that's not always the case. Because
that's what women want. They want somebody to dominate. They want somebody to come in and take over and take them off their feet. So they looking for dominance in a lot of ways. And a lot of times for us as indigenous men here in this capitalistic society, there's been a lot of barriers for us to overcome, for us to become the breadwinners that the women are seeking.
Yes, but they're seeking those breadwinners for the same reason that Black men were seeking to dominate in the household, is because that's the example they saw from Western man.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's where that comes from. Like, so, but, we know that there have been things in place to, to halt the growth of us as men, as a family unit in general, to be able to, and put the woman out where she is now. Well, the woman is in front for a number of reasons, because the women have always been the guiding force behind everything anyways. But now, because we're coming into a feminine age, you're now seeing more of that energy. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just distorted. It's toxic now.
Yes. So. Now, may I just say that there is a blessing. There's always a fortune in the misfortune. I remember our house burned down in year 2000. And the Queen Mother called me and said, "It's always a fortune in the misfortune." So there's a fortune in the misfortune. I think the fortune in the misfortune of African American men and indigenous men, particularly, never being able to hook into the patriarchal thing and be in the bro club, I think there's a fortune in that. Because y'all are not corrupted. There's a lot of y'all that are not under the vampire bite. And y'all saw Sinners. Some of y'all got the bite. I mean, I was saying that. But, I mean, some of y'all got the bite. That's a great
analogy. That's a great analogy.
But most, I would say, so many men that I meet are still actual humans. So that's the fortune and the misfortune, because all of y'all could have been just like this man. All.
Yeah. Just because we got money, we could do whatever the fuck we want to do. That's the mind state.
Exactly.
That's the capitalistic mind state. That's the mono mind state. And a lot of these men that's in these monogamous relationships, a lot of them are not faithful. And that's not to blast nobody out, fellas, because all my married friends or whatever, like, y'all niggas know what it is. We done had these conversations like behind closed doors. Like, I always encourage man, tell the fucking truth, bro.
Wow.
Tell the truth, bro, because, you want to be able to sleep at night with a clear conscience.
So I was looking at the comments to see if there's any questions, but I want to get back to one more thing about this. And this is problematic for me. So I got to share my grandmother's picture again. I've been trying to talk about this all week. I don't think people understand my Instagram. I'm trying to say that women like her, she had to play both sides. She had to be the provider and make it seem like he was actually the provider, thereby not being acknowledged as the provider, and be the nurturer. That's not going to fly no more. No. We're done with that shit. And I find myself following in those same footsteps. And I have a vent about it, but it's nothing I can really say. I mean, I'm venting now. Absolutely. It's not fair. So when I was putting up my post about, like, I'm the provider, there come the men again on Facebook saying this and this and that. Well, if you want to be you're a feminist. Like, it's not fair that I, A, provide, B, have to act like I don't, C, not get nurtured. Don't providers get nurtured?
They should.
Where's my motherfucking nurturer? Because we're all providing. I stayed at home. I didn't work for the first 13 years. He provided. But then I retired his ass. Didn't I retire you?
Yeah.
See, you can't acknowledge it. This is my vent.
Well, you did not become an instant provider. Well, let's just keep it real. We both were working and hustling.
We were both working, babe. I'm not saying I was an instant provider, but
I'm just saying you didn't. We got to understand how it flows. I agree with you. When you become a provider and you're paying for everything, and you're not saying shit about it, and just like doing your job the way you're supposed to be doing it, then absolutely you're a provider. If we both hustling, there's nobody providing. There's two people hustling.
Yeah, it's two people providing, and then there's no nurturing. And that's what I was looking for other partners for. You were able to get other partners because they're women. They nurtured you. I watched them nurture you. But I can't go find a man to nurture me. I just have to be a provider with no nurture and then fake like and be also a nurturer to my men.
Mm-hmm.
It's infuriating. And that is my vent.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
That's what I've been trying to say. Nobody been commenting on my motherfucking post. Y'all don't act like you don't understand what I'm talking about, but you do, ladies.
Yeah, they do. You know, a lot of them in denial. It's a lot of self-denial. It's a lot of people that just want it the way they want it. And that's cool. They can have it their way. They might have to wait for it. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully they'll get it the way that they want it. You know, ultimately, that's why we're here, to have it in a way where people can be authentic, have true relationships, whether it's one-on-one or one-on-many. You know what I'm saying? It's just about,
do you guys, are y'all gonna support me?
yeah, absolutely.
You didn't set container, but
I'm retroactively setting container.
Okay.
I was an event. I did say it was an event.
well, we acknowledged the whole thing was event.
The whole thing was event. It's my ego speaking. Nobody's doing anything wrong. My higher self knows it's nobody's fault. Nobody's wrong. Nothing.
Great. What kind of support would you like? You
I
never
would
said
like.
your level.
I'm at a level. I keep going up. Shit, because this supposed to be my show, y'all. This supposed to be the Woman's Week.
You need to have women on here. That way
I
there'll
need
be no
women on
issues.
here.
Don't have a free man and don't have a sovereign motherfucker on here because I'll let you know how I feel. I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
Do you have a vent?
Yeah, I do have a vent.
All right, go
Go ahead and finish yours.
No, you go vent first. Then it'll be helpful.
Yeah, no one's doing anything wrong. Probably level 2. This is my ego and animal speaking. Everything serves it further. Yeah, my thing is I call bullshit on what women are talking about. You know what I'm saying? No, what you're doing is you're over giving because you want the man, you want the marriage. Get the fuck out of here with this. I lost myself in the marriage. No, you were insecure about yourself. You gave everything because you wanted to make sure you secured the marriage, secured the man. You see what I'm saying? You were afraid to be loved for who you were and present yourself as who you were and not overgive out the gate and not overpromise and not come out of your natal persona and authentic self and just be yourself and still be chosen. So you set a precedent up front where you're giving and giving, nurturing, cooking, doing all these things. And now 20 years in, you pissed like a motherfucker, like I lost myself, this ain't right. Get the fuck out of here. This is the age of equality, okay? So we're done with all the excuses and the victim bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Like just call it like how it actually is. You did too much in the beginning because you were insecure about who you were. No, present yourself for who you are. Say, this is what I'm willing to do. I'm not willing to go beyond that. That's not me. I'm not a cook. I'm not massaging shoulders. I'm not doing all that and working and doing all this stuff. I'm doing what I'm willing to do. Are you okay with that? And be willing to do what men have done for decades, which is take rejection. You see what I'm saying? And move on and find somebody who matches you. And then also what Occur said, I think what you or Occur said, yeah, you have to go with the men who are willing to give you that shit. Don't go for the dimes. Don't go for the dark masculine. Don't go for the womb joys brothers who are running through the women and got all the sexual experience and all the bravado and the edge. Go with the men who are going to give you exactly what you want. Leave us the fuck alone.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So that's my vent.
Thank you
I
so
got to
much.
put a drink up to that one.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, I don't want to hear all this victim shit. I ain't down with that.
Thank you.
But
so
that's
much
good,
for
though.
sharing. Thanks for sharing. How can we support you?
How can we support?
Yeah, I'll take for each of you, Akira and Kenya, your authentic share around what I said.
Okay, my authentic share around what you said is I understand that, and I wholeheartedly agree. I think that what you're saying is valid, and I validate your feelings.
Thank you very much. Akira?
I totally agree with you. I think that there's a lot of overgiving for various reasons. A lot of it is, I feel, it could come from insecurity, and because I've been around women and I've seen them, I've heard the stories, I've experienced it in my, so I could verify that that's a lot of that's going on, and I would say to you, to you as my brother, we got to stay in the fight, keep showing up however we can show up, man, and they'll figure it out, man. They'll figure it out. That it's a lot of the shit that they're going through is because of the overgiving, expecting too much, you know what I'm saying, and wanting us to be like them. That's a lot. That's a big problem right there. Like we not like y'all, you know what I'm saying? And we can only do whatever we can do. And if that's not good enough, find somebody else and it's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Thank you both. I brace me down. I'm down.
What level are you at?
I'm at a 0. That's cool.
Okay, I have a little counter vent.
But you didn't finish your last event.
I finished my last
There was
vent.
no nurturing. We didn't do any.
Yeah, right. You
Soothing?
went off to
Okay,
another tangent.
Yes, y'all can keep soothing me. Just 1 second.
Just combine them.
I'm going to combine my last vent. It's just one more thing I want to say. Authentic share. Nobody's wrong. This is my ego speaking. But y'all, we're coming from a legacy where women, there was no other path. You're understanding. I did open up a little path for myself with polyamory. That shit was not normal and not natural. You couldn't get nothing from nobody else. You just had to get it from your husband or you're a hoe. Hoe is worse than nigga. Let me share something with you. It's a total denigration of a woman's womanhood who care about men who say shit like that, which everybody did. So I just need you all to know that women, yes, we overgave. Yes, we did that. I agree. And I feel like it's all baked into the system. Again, I think it's the systems, not the people, on both male and female side. So that's my finish up of my vent.
Thank you for sharing. What kind of support would you like for either event or both?
I just want some, I would like some empathy for my overgiving. Like, yeah, y'all can berate me now because I overgave, but y'all received. And so I would like empathy for the fact that you did receive what we overgave.
Yeah, I can give empathy. Like, I understand that was the culture. You know what I'm saying? You were living inside the culture, especially for black women. Like, you just did that because that's what you were told to do. You were trained to do that. That was a part of tradition. You know what I'm saying?
Ride or die, all of that.
And on top of all that, you were under tremendous amount of pressure to be married and follow the script and produce children and grandchildren. And you know what I'm saying? Like, black women especially, were under tremendous pressure to show up. So I empathize with what you're saying. I know what it's like to be under expectations. You know, like I was raised by an educator, so had to be a certain way in school. I couldn't break any rules, nothing. I know how it feels to be under that kind of pressure. So I empathize with your situation.
Thank you. Occur.
I mean, he took a lot of the words right out of my mouth. What can I say after that? You know what I mean? I do empathize with the women that have gone through so much, from taking a lot of abuse from us men, even myself included. I've caused damage along the way, along the way with women that I've come into contact with. So I definitely can empathize with a lot of the pressures that we've put on our women, a lot of expectations and things like that. That was just like, selfish, a lot of things that we've done, that's just, not right. So I appreciate all of the women out there, that's continue to show up, that haven't given up on us, and that continue to, open space for us to, have these type of conversations and give ourselves the opportunity so we can, look at these type of things that we're dealing with and, find constructive ways that we can better, live in harmony.
Yes. Thank you all so much. That was really
good empathy,
beautiful, wonderful. See, now y'all see why I got these men. These men is right. They tight it right. They know how to deliver this empathy now.
It's called TAR.
TAR?
TAR. Tight and right.
I thought he was talking about Tartarians. I was like, yeah,
we can talk about that's a whole episode too. I know Kirk got something to say about that one.
Hey, bro, I got like 2 books right up in here on the subject. Right now, as we speak, I'm ready for the conversation.
This the type of man we looking for, y'all. And this is what I'm saying. God. We cultivate that type of man over here at Pantheon.
Mm-hmm.
This is the man in Pantheon. That's why women be asking me, how do I meet men like this? Join Pantheon. Who are you talking to?
Hey, we need the brothers to step up, man. We need to come out of this caveman shit, man. We need to come out of this competition. Because at the end of the day, man, we've lost a lot. And we can have so much more, man. It's just so much more. And we just come off this dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's be real, man, because, You know, with women out there, man, y'all got to start keeping it real, ladies. Like, man, y'all know what y'all want. Y'all know when y'all see that fine man walking down the street. You know, everything about what you need. Start speaking up on it. Start knowing that you can have it. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
wait a minute now. Hold on. As soon as the women say, I'm trying to find this one piece where, as soon as the women say that they do want multiple men, I mean, women have just started to say that, yes. So,
Mhm.
but let me just show you something that that I said and that many men had an issue with. So it's not as easy. I just want you to know, occur. It's not as easy just to come out and be honest. And we can talk about that, but it's not as easy. But here it is. 300 to 400 comments, all of them from men saying, yes, 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 sex is so healthy. SEX is so healing. SEX, women should be doing this every single day. But at the same damn time, they shame sexually free women. Women don't want to have SEX with the same person every single day. No human wants that. So as soon as I said that, that's where the comments come from. Oh yeah, like this is where all the men go nuts and say, your point is flawed. Better get it. You're gonna have an STD. You know, you know, just nasty thing, trash for the streets. Da, da, da. So that's current. That's right now.
Them hurt little boys talking, man. That's all.
That's what I was saying.
That's hurt little boys talking,
Those
man.
men who are making those comments, those aren't, I mean, not all of them, but one, those are men caught up in the culture that we were talking about, Western culture. But also, a lot of those are men who have a severe lack of success with women in relationships. Severe.
I agree. I have to agree with that. I have to agree with that because I saw that post, you know what I'm saying? And I have to agree with that post. I mean, it's not enough of us around to fulfill that fantasy.
No.
Which fantasy?
Fulfilling
Women have what they need sexually.
that need for women
Yeah.
that, and I don't think women need. I don't need sex every day. You know what I'm saying? I
I
don't need
do.
sex every day.
I need
But
sex every day.
some people may feel like they need sex every day. But a man is not gonna want to have sex with the same woman every fucking day. I
Exactly.
don't give a
And
fuck.
they know this. They
I
know
don't
this.
care. It's not. It's
It's
just.
not
But
possible.
I just want to say, you're saying they know this. I don't think a lot of people know this. I think like a lot of women and men still buy into the fantasy of romance. So they
Yeah.
haven't had the experience of being married and living with somebody for 15 years, being married and exclusive. And so they actually believe that they're going to get into that situation and they believe they're pretty much going to have sex every day and have that strong desire. Not even just a sex, but the desire every day. Like they actually believe that. Like they
No.
haven't talked to married people who've actually been married for 15, 20, 30 years to get the real deal. It doesn't work that way.
Right. I was shocked when we got married and you didn't want to have sex every day. I thought that's why people got married.
I mean, some people don't. I don't want the people that's in the mono relationship to think we bashing them or nothing like that. There are great couples out there, great examples of man, one woman that they have great sex life and they getting along, they doing great.
Absolutely.
They're out there. They do exist, you know what I'm saying? But on the average, you know what I'm saying, it's not happening when you've been in long-term relationships. It's like, man, it's just not happening, man. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
occur. Speak to your experience. Like, what is it that happens within you where all of a sudden you realize that your desire for this person or your drive it decreased? You get past that initial stage, right, where y'all get together, it's hot and heavy.
Yeah.
Like, what goes through your mind or your body when you start to feel that? Is that something you can pinpoint?
Oh man, that's a great question. I would just say,
I want to hear
it's
this.
just certain times. It could just be certain times where you find yourself like more attracted to your partner, to the women that I've been with. Whereas other days it's like I ain't even thinking about sex. I'm like, my mind is in total work mode. I ain't trying to be sexy. I ain't trying to be in that space. I'm more focused on what I gotta do. I gotta handle my business. I gotta take care of my family and other things of that nature. So I'm not just sitting up fantasizing about going home to my woman because after you done hit it like you did it so many times. It's like, man, it's just not the same. You have them times maybe a couple times a year. You know what I'm saying? a couple times a year, you might have some great sex, but most of the time, this shit was just like, man, let's hurry up. You know what I'm saying? It's just regular,
Finally,
get over
true.
with.
Oh, man.
But why do men pretend as if that women should feel like we just want y'all? Y'all know for sure. Like, how long were you married, Kurt, where you realized this? How long did it take to realize? How many years does it take to
I
realize
think
this?
it don't take years. It could take, it don't take years, especially if you fucking like me. I mean, it's, with my partner, with my wife or whatever like that, you there every day. Like I'm gonna spin your cap off as many times as I can. But after a while, that shit just like it dies off, man. And you get off into family and all of those things. It's like, like the honeymoon stage. And
Yeah.
then again, there'll be times where I think a lot of times in my situation where um I'm early in my first marriage. My kid's mom, she was like very aggressive. She wanted, like, as soon as you come in the door, she grab your thumb, like grab your dick, like let me smell it. She want to know if you've been fucking somebody. Like she was a psychopath, but she was very wanted all the time, like, and
Right.
very open. Then in my second marriage, she was more like more business, this and that. So I wasn't the intimacy. I was craving that intimacy.
Yeah.
So when it came, yeah, it made it more special, but it still was like, that shit was the same as last time. Like,
But how would a man think that women don't feel the same way? Where do y'all think that? Why do some men believe that? It
they ain't
feels like
delusional, man. Men think, why? When men get a certain stature because of this competitiveness we've been bred with since a child, where I'm bigger than you versus type of mentality, we always competitive from a child, man.
right,
Like I could see that growing up with my cousins. Like we was always challenging each other. And
right.
so that shit grows up into manhood. Man figure like, okay, whoever got the biggest dick is the winner. Whoever got the most money is the winner. So if
Right.
this nigga is coming and he feel like he's the man, can't no other nigga, better not no other nigga touch you. I want no nigga like this mentality is over him. You know what I'm saying? Because he might not even realize that. You know what I'm saying? But he's putting this pressure on this woman that, you're mine now type of shit. Like
It's
that's
just
and that's
incredulous. It's
and that to
incredulous.
me, like, don't nobody own people. Like, how you just own somebody?
Well, I'm saying it's incredulous that so many people negate what I'm trying to say when I'm talking common sense that I think everybody know because everybody have experienced it. It just feels like you're in a dissonant universe, like I'm in Black Mirror.
But I feel like the culture of monogamy is not to be honest about these things. So this is not passed down from like generation to generation where they just like the same thing I told you about the menopause thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's certain things that y'all need to be talking to the younger generation about, like the truth of relationships, the truth of what happens to your body. Like, but the culture is to not talk about it.
Yeah.
Like women walk around, they gotta pretend like you are just impenetrable and super women, and like
Right.
there's no changes going on during menopause and premenopause and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
People do the
Sex
same
is
thing in
nasty.
monogamy, in my opinion.
So here's the thing with menopause, because us Generation X, we going through menopause now, and we're furious. We're fierce. So I've gotten so many couples whose husband don't understand. Now the woman don't want to. Now the woman wants poly. The woman wants other men. The woman she always wanted it, but when you have that much estrogen in your body and you're married, you can suppress your feelings, and you can do obligatory sex, and you can do obligatory devotion. But after menopause, you cannot. And so the women are saying, like, all of a sudden, and the husband saying, well, all of a sudden she wanted another man. She didn't want that. She told me she never wanted that. She told me that wasn't her lifestyle. She told me she was, but then it changes.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I have been trying to deal with this, but I don't think any woman should have to negotiate to keep her connection. Like, I don't want to be with a man who I have to do all this negotiation and tightrope walk, because I've been with men like that.
Absolutely.
Tigers like that. You have to negotiate. Oh, if I was always having sex with other men, I always had other relationships with my womb choice. And he was always mad. Always. But it was like I had to negotiate and hide this and not do this. It's like nobody wants to live like that.
No.
I think part of it, to go to your question earlier about why do men believe this stuff, again, the culture of monogamy, and you all as women, you do make the man believe that you all into him like that.
We have to. We learned it from age 5.
I agree, but what I'm saying is, like, that's one of the lies that's perpetuated. One of the things you used to talk about a lot, because Kenya was very big in terms of educating women to being sexually free. That was a big thing for her. And one of the most sad stats she used to talk about all the time was about 70% of women were faking orgasms inside their intercourse relations with men.
Yes.
And see, if I'm having sex with you and I think it's all that because you're like yelling and it's all fake, like now a lot of men are being fooled.
Right.
So again, the culture of monogamy where it's customary to lie to each other.
Okay, let me give
is
the men
one of the issues.
You're right. Let me give the men a whole rundown of what women are lying about. She's lying about wanting to have sex with you as much as she does. She has obligatory sex very often. Mm-hmm. She's lying about only wanting to have sex with you. She's lying about not looking at other men at work, not talking to anybody else. She is talking to other people all the time. All humans are talking to other humans. You know what I'm saying? She's lying about the depth of her relationship with her ex and the depth of this and that. She's still with all these dudes in her heart. Yeah. These are things she's lying about. All of them. Every time you hear it, it's not true.
And she's also lying about not lying about this shit. So as a man, when you go to your wife tonight and ask her, "Are you lying about it?" Because Kenya said y'all lying. She's like, "No, that's some women do that, but not me."
Baby, she's human. She's a human female.
The answer to this shit. But as a couple, have you ever asked your couple, like, have you ever thought about having sex with somebody? If you could have sex with anybody right now, who would it be? Have you ever asked your spouse that and really got the answer? Yeah. And you think if they had a chance, they wouldn't do that shit?
Right. It's ridiculous.
Every woman got a fantasy.
But did you occur in your marriage? Did you go through the feeling of not wanting your wife to be inside of those lies? Because I think men do want a woman who's inside of that.
Yeah, we do. That's why women do it, because they know that feeds our ego. That feels good. It feels so, and that's the thing of narcissism in the culture. Yeah. It feels so good to know somebody is into you and only into you.
I used to tell you about those bitches you were with. You would be with women and they would be like, "I'm only with you." I would be trying to tell him, "She's lying, babe." I asked you the question though. Go ahead.
About women being with other women?
Yeah, were you ever wanting your woman to be inside of that facade?
That lie. Like, did you enjoy her being all about you, being possessive of you, and just making it seem like you don't own your brother?
I'm gonna be honest. Like, when I was younger,
yeah,
like, that boosts your ego. But now that shit scared the fuck out of me. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be him like that. Because I know I can't be there every day and serve you like you need to be served.
Okay.
Because I'm in a space right now. Like, I'm in a single space right now. I don't necessarily have a primary partner. I got some great women in my life right now, but I'm allowing myself for room to grow in a space where I'm not having to check in with nobody and all of that stuff that comes with having a primary partner. I have, like I said, I have great women in my life, but I've learned as to now, that's not a requirement for me. I want you to be honest with me. If I ain't hitting that shit right, tell me let me know what I need to do to fix that.
Yeah. Just
be honest with me.
Yeah. So I just put into the chat, I know it's time to wrap up. Let me tell you guys, I feel so much better. I feel so much better having discussed this with y'all. Women are reclaiming our sovereignty, and it's not aggression, it is self-care. It is not aggression, it is self-care. We are becoming aware of our needs, our desires. We know that our desires are not to be shunned or suppressed. I mean, we're not going to abandon ourselves anymore. We're not doing obligation. We're not doing duty. We're going to follow our authenticity, and that doesn't mean we don't love you, because we love ourselves, and we're really getting into self-love. So I wanted to invite everybody who's watching to get into our debate. Come to our debate so I can roll out what this new culture look like. I want men. I'm inviting men, and women, you're welcome as well. If you are a member of Pantheon, of course, you get into the debate for free. And if you are not, I put the link in there. Jump into our debate. I'm going to invite men, and we're going to talk about the new culture. We can roll it out now while their world is crashing and the whole world is doing this. We need to be formulating our communities of the future, where all the brother husband care for all women, and all women care for all men, and all of us care for all children. All of this baby mama shit, all of this boo boo hoo hoo, and we breaking up, we divorcing, giving 1/3 of our money to lawyers on a divorce. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
Yes, it's nuts.
We're done with this. Okay, we have solutions. Occur, any last words? Then I'll get Carl's last words, and we gotta go.
I ain't do my vent.
Oh, do your
You
vent.
say
Yes.
I'm gonna need 3 minutes at least. I gotta
That's
go in.
fine. We gonna go over time for your vent, baby.
All right, so this is my ego talking. Nobody's done anything wrong. I'm probably like a level 3.
Okay.
Last week we had a conversation during the episode 2. And during the episode 2, I decided to take a little puff on some herbal remedies, as we call them in my parts of town. And during the live or whatever, I don't know, maybe it was after the live, somebody made a comment on, about maybe if I'm high, or you know what I'm saying, am I speaking out of my right mind or whatever, because they didn't know what I was smoking, but it made me. We had the conversation. You brought it up to me or whatever, and it came from a viable source. So I didn't have a problem with. As soon as you said something to me, like, okay, maybe that's not a good idea to smoke on there, because it's people are so fucking judgmental. Like they don't know, they don't ask questions, they just assume things. Just like they assumed on the first podcast that we was drunk. Just like they assumed on the first podcast we was fucking. Like, oh, they I know they fucking. Right. They just people just think all of this bullshit, right? They don't do their homework. And I'm like, in the world that we live in today, with all of the things that's going on and going wrong or whatever, for me, growing up in a house with drug addict parents or whatever, and being exposed to drugs and alcohol at a very young age, mental illness and all that kind of stuff, and being like out of coming on this podcast to share my life with the world or whatever, open up, being honest, you know what I'm saying, and creating this vulnerability with myself to do this podcast or whatever, and somebody sit back and have something to say about me taking a puff or two doing a podcast or whatever. And so this is we here the business, we here to share this information, but this is also a business. Y'all make y'all money with this, you know what I'm saying? And I don't never want to jeopardize that for the sake of a smoke, you know what I'm saying? Whether it was a cigarette, CBD, herbs, marijuana, whatever. Like, I've smoked all that shit. Like, that's part of my heritage. That's part of my tradition. And for me to have grown up in a household with crack addicts and selling crack since elementary school age, and making it out of all of that lifestyle to now, I look at my life like, now I could have been a lot of shit. I could have been a dope fiend. I could have been drugged out. Could have killed myself. I could have been in prison. I could have been, in a lot of fucked up places. But my thing to the people out there that sit back and they look at people that use drugs, I wonder if they look at people the same way that take pharmaceutical drugs, or that take alcohol or cigarettes or whatever. Like, do y'all criticize people, or think that they stupid because they doing something that you might not do or you might not agree with? Where I grew up in a world where my parents always taught me, it don't matter. I don't care if it's the bum on the street or whatever. If they telling you something to do right, you better listen to them. I don't give a fuck what they look like, because you could be talking to an angel. The people in the church, they say, you never know. People can be in your life and give you a message that can change your whole trajectory in your life. So for for the people out there, they have a lot of shit to say, like with women like you that's sexually free. And like I get it, I kind of get in my way about that because I know a lot of people that's talk that shit. They're really a lot of hypocrites out there. You know what I'm saying? And they pass judgment and they don't understand the backstory of what it is, and they don't have proper information. They just make shit up in their mind. And just because they believe it, they think that it's true. And that's why I like the up level communication, because that's the first thing you learn. Like, this is your perception. This don't make it true. So that's my vent to the people out there in the world. Mind your fucking business. Like, focus on the message.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you for sharing, baby. Yeah. How can we support you, sweet?
Would you like any support?
I would say if y'all got any questions or if you want to add to that, by all means. But I just want to like keep that a little short. That was my first vent. I think I did pretty good.
That's great. That's a great vent. I'll share an authentic share that I second that motion. People did come to me and say, "Oh, is it Kerr high?" and da-da-da. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Do y'all understand this entire world is burning down? We're in a whole crisis. Everybody's up the creek and we are chilling. We're trying to move through this. We're trying to heal and grow. It's nothing wrong with where anybody is at.
Yeah.
In their journey and whatever. So that's what I have to add. I don't have any questions. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I got a question. Kerr, is this something that you've experienced before in the past where people have questioned either you in terms of whether it's what you smoking or doing, or even other parts of your life where people jump to conclusions, jump to judgment? Is that something you felt you've dealt with before in your life?
Yeah. And it's crazy too, because like, it's funny, last week I was sharing I had a situation where somebody made some shit up in their head. Like, people make stuff up in their head all the time. And it came out, but I didn't feed into it or whatever. So, but it was just like, wow, like people will sit up and actually make up stories and really believe they own the shit that they putting in their head. And so, I'm good with, with where I'm at. And to have that happened last week when it did, and then there's other things that transpire. I don't want to get all off into it because we ran short on time. But I have experienced that quite a bit in life, and where people project shit onto me and they really don't know. They guessing. Like, if you really want to ask me a question about anything, I'm an open person. I'm gonna share it with you, and I'm gonna keep it honest with you. But don't throw shade, because you know what I'm saying, like,
we have a saying at Progressive Love Academy and at Pantheon that everybody is doing the very best that they can. That they can in this moment based on what they know, what they've experienced, who they are. And that's what we live on that. So we accept you. We embrace you, Kerr. What level are you at currently with your vent?
I'm at a 0.
Woo! We love bringing our community to a 0. We love hearing everybody out. If you're not a part of Pantheon, you need to get in Pantheon. We're getting together in Costa Rica in September. Y'all need to get into Pantheon, okay? Also, if you don't want to get in Pantheon yet, come to the debate. If you want to see what Pantheon's about, if you want to understand what my community is about and what my people be talking about and how we are putting forth solutions, get into this debate on Friday night. You can bring your drink, bring your smoke, bring whatever you got, and get on Zoom. It's private. It's not public. It's not on YouTube. You can talk. You can share. We invite you. Thank you all so much for being a part of our episode tonight, and we will talk to you again very, very soon. But guess what? We love you. We're here every Thursday night. This is Pantheon and Progressive Love Academy. And, of course, my men, my awesome, powerful kings, because I got many loves, baby.
Many loves in the building.
Good night to everybody. We'll talk to you again soon. Ciao, Bella.
All right, fam.